Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony here with you here today. Rediscovery of your happiness after letting go of someone who's set you up with a lot of emotional abuse. How to rediscover your happiness. Chances are a lot of your former happiness was based on taking care of them. It was based on making them happy. Your role in life was defined by oftentimes their cues that they would give you. It was defined by certain requirements that they either consciously or subconsciously shared with you. You fell into that role, you dropped into that role, and you basically created your life purpose based on satisfying them and their needs and keeping them happy. And if you're like most people who have gone through emotional abuse, you stayed there way too long. You went through a lot of trepidation and fear. You went through a lot of self-doubt. You went through a lot of questioning before you finally realized, I've got to get to the bottom of this. And then you were driven crazy basically to the point where you had to find the solution. You had to find exactly what was going on. So maybe you did some research, you did some review, you found out some information, and you finally found what you were looking for. And now you're like at rock bottom, and you're basically discovering, okay, this is now I have living proof, or I'm working on getting the living proof, and this is not where I want to be. This is not going to make me happy, and you're basically back at the drawing board. You're basically back at the blueprint and trying to reconfigure your life, reinvent yourself, find out which tree you want to put your ladder up next because you don't like where it's sitting right now. Well, if you look at really a lot of the relationship dynamics of an abuser and the abused, chances are, the abuser has either idolized you and then made you a scapegoat, or vice versa. They had originally belittled you and criticized you, and then idealized you, and then boom, you went right back down into the cycle. So if you've been through either one of these, eventually the result is the same. Basically, you're under their control, and your life purpose, your whole role, your whole existence has been just to keep them happy, and you've neglected yourself in the process. And believe me, they love that. I mean, they know exactly what they're doing. You wonder why someone would even do this. Well, it's because they have a personality disorder, and really they're only driven by what they need. They have a very low emotional intelligence for really understanding other people. Like they really just don't get it, and they might mimic, they might kind of seem every once in a while that they're getting you. They might wish you happy birthday, they might tell you they love you, they might give you a back massage, they might do something that kind of keeps you hooked in a little bit, but then it's going right back to the bottom line, which is the truth, which is you can't continue to be in an abusive relationship. It's not fun, it's not healthy, it's not serving you, and you're not helping. If you have other friends or children with them, you're not serving them by staying weak. So you got to find the courage, and oftentimes this takes with taking a bold step and rediscovering your happiness. So if before your happiness was based on making them happy, and that was your life purpose, well, you're going to have to get in touch with a new life purpose, and it's going to feel different, and you're going to feel like, I'm not very good at this. I really don't know what I want. I really don't know what I need. I really don't know what I should be doing. And it seems like really silly and really stupid, but that's because you've been so disconnected from this. And it seems like, well, other people seem to just go on living their life happily. How come I can't do this? Well, I mean, that's kind of an aftermath of going through abuse. They say love is blind. I mean, you went into it with love, and, basically you're in a situation now where you're kind of blinded to your own needs and your own abilities, and you can't even connect to it. In fact, a lot of people who have children who have been through narcissistic abuse, they enter into much of their adult life really not even being close to themselves, or bonded with themselves, or even know what makes them happy. They basically don't know how to make themselves happy. So it takes a lot of relearning and retooling yourself and kind of knowing what is of interest to you. So you have to go out and try your hand at some new things, yes, but also realize that your sense of happiness is no longer meant to come from just taking care of other people. You're going to have to stop yourself from doing this, because if you have been basing your happiness on taking care of others, your fuel, think of yourself like an engine, your fuel is outside of you rather than inside of you. It's like feeding someone else a dinner and expecting yourself to be full. I mean, you can't, it's not going to work. Eventually you're going to be starving, deprived, have no nutrition, and you're wondering like, how come I can't feed myself? I mean, it's just something one has to learn and one has to really get re-familiar with. So, looking at, where you put your attention, do not continue to put as much attention onto them. And it might feel like you're being kind of cruel, it might feel like you're being kind of, get out of here, mosquito. Shoo. It might feel like you're kind of, like being, angry, coming from like an angry place. Well, anger might be your first energetic, vibration to getting you through it. A lot of people don't like to feel angry. I mean, it's so powerful, and it can make you so pissed off that you don't even want to feel it. So a lot of people just like shut down, like, I just give up, like, and they don't really realize that their depression is really kind of like the reverse of like anger. And the anger and resentment is like shut down, and it's just like flooring you. So, you have to realize that you don't want to continue to come from that spot, because it's eventually going to just keep you avoiding and procrastinating living your life. I mean, it's counterintuitive. So if you're, into that, sometimes you do need to rest and recharge, but you do need to rediscover what makes you happy. And yes, your happiness exists. Your happiness is in there. It's just not, you've been basing it on, on making this other person happy, which really they're succeeding in making you very unhappy. And that's, being abused is not a happy place to be. And to suffer and stay in that situation is not the solution either. The solution is going to be getting away, kind of retooling yourself, taking a look at what has happened, and now learning, no matter how late in your life it is, to put yourself first. Whether how much you have to crawl to get to that situation, putting yourself first, to, not living just passively, but getting the energy, say, yes, I can go to this event, I can go to this movie on my own. So what if I cry for the first time? So what if I'm crying in the car? I'm in action. I'm making this happen. I'm going to go and I'm going to sit and I'm going to go to this workshop, and I'm going to receive some healing messages, or I'm going to attend this church, and I'm not going to be ashamed if I cry. It's okay to cry. You're releasing your emotion. You're releasing a lot of the pent-up feelings that have stayed bottled up. And if you've been in a really toxic relationship for a long time, I mean, you're going to have a lot of bottled up emotions, and it's going to come out eventually, so you might as well accept it and let it go. And bring a box of Kleenex, put them in your pocket, put them in your purse, If you're a man and you feel like it, you shouldn't cry, you feel like, men are supposed to be brave and tough and, put some dirt on it, and, you're not supposed to have any emotions. Well, actually, nowadays, it's actually quite the thing to be in touch with your emotions. And, a lot of guys are working on that, kind of like the emergence of the feminine energy in them, not meaning that you're like gay or something, but just meaning that you're in touch with that nurturing side, that softer side, that loving side, the one that doesn't have to prove themselves all the time, doesn't have to be in a position of authority, can be in a situation where they can receive information, where they can take care of themselves, where they can share some of these hurt without feeling, weak or less than because of it. You have to be able to, get into that nurturing energy. I mean, Mother Earth is a very healing entity. There's a lot of healing workshops that you can attend to in your local area. There's a lot of churches. You can try to go to another church, just see what it's about. See what kind of workshops places have. Even if it's like Alcoholics Anonymous, there's Codependents Anonymous, Debtors Anonymous. I mean, don't feel bad. Just check out some of these meetings. If there's a bunch of like, you know, if it's not well led or you feel like you're not going to get anything out of it, then just pick up and go. But at least you're seeking something out. You have to take some action. You have to start taking some steps, you know, in the process. You know, get yourself some books, get yourself some CDs, you know, watch YouTube, listen to these videos again and again, you know, but do it now for going for while in a walk. Do it while you're cleaning your house. You know, put these on while you're driving your car. Learn to kind of multitask, functioning in your life and healing at the same time. Become really good at picking yourself up and finding out what makes you happy. And if, you know, you try your hand at different things. If, you know, you might try a painting class. So if you find you're not into painting, well, you know, I'm not into painting. Maybe I'm into something more physical. Maybe I would like to learn like water aerobics. So then join your local gym. See if you can get a guest pass for a week and just say, please give me a tour of the facility. I would like to see what this is about. See if you can get a free week pass. See if you can go in there and just try some things. You have to be innovative and creative. You have to try your hand at these different things in order to see what works for you, but you have to like lift that energy and not let it you know, just sulk and for too long, because it's not gonna get you where you want to be, which is like resolving some of these issues. So have a happiness system. I think I'm gonna start working this out into more of an organized manner for you. A happiness system I think is going to be a very good idea, where you actually have a system in place to keep you happy. Whether it's like positive things, positive statements, positive pictures, activities that you're putting in the calendar, making sure you're getting to these places in the calendar, making sure you're getting in touch with the resources and getting it going. You might have to feel like you give yourself a nudge, a push to get these rolling, but at least you're getting it rolling. So, peace and harmony here with you here today. Please share these videos and subscribe for more great tools, videos, and discussions. Thanks for listening, and make it a beautiful day.